Hi, I'm here with a review of the movie Brahmastra Part 1 Shiva. I went and saw this movie yesterday in 3D. Now, I am not a movie critic, but I am just a Bollywood lover, a Bollywood watcher. I'm going to talk about different aspects of the film. I'm going to give my experience, and then I shall give my rating at the end. This is a non-spoiler review. I think the first thing people will praise are the special effects. The special effects are outstanding, out of this world, epic. They look amazing on the big screen. This was my first time seeing a 3D movie in Hindi. I've only seen one other movie, and that was one of the Star Wars films, the only Star Wars film I have ever seen. So that was a cool experience, but I wasn't really invested in the story. This one, I more cared about. But I love seeing all the special effects. At times they were hard to get used to because sometimes I felt like I just wanted to put them on for the action sequences, and I wanted to take it off and watch a regular movie when they were just talking dialogue. And also I'm reading subtitles, and so the subtitles are in the forefront, and then things are here, and then things are in the back. Anyway, I think I more got used to them at the end. I think it was a cool experience overall, but I do wish I could have just kept them on when the action sequences were in effect and then take them off when they weren't. That's just a personal opinion. I think the next movie I'll probably just watch on a regular screen. I think the cinematography, the direction, the colors were beautiful, and I think the movie itself is a gorgeous presentation. In terms of the acting, Ranbir didn't disappoint. Ranbir never disappoints me when it comes to acting. I feel like he's consistent. Alia, Bhatt, whether you disagree or not, I feel like she's consistent. I also think she did a great job, but the role definitely required more out of Ranbir Kapoor, and I thought he was fantastic. It was great seeing Amitabh Bachchan and the special appearances that are in this film, which I'm sure people may know of now. Also, I overall enjoyed the music in the movie. There's 3 songs. Dance Kaboot was my favorite song in the movie. Kasari is good, and David is also good. My problem with Kasari is that for one song, it doesn't feel timeless, it doesn't feel classic, it doesn't feel special. I feel like if that was the second romantic song, I'd be cool with that. But I wish we had something that was more prominent and long-lasting, kind of made more of an impression than Kasari. And David, I think it's a good song. I did enjoy it in the movie, but for the part in which it's playing, kind of felt weird for me. From this point of view, I felt like the song more felt like a boy growing up, coming to his own, kind of like a coming of age from a boy into a man. But this guy is a regular man into a superhero. So I needed the song to sound more epic. It sounded like the joy of a boy rather than the Shakti of a man. I needed something that had a bit more power, something that felt more epic. That's just my opinion. But I think all 3 songs are enjoyable. This movie felt like a superhero movie. And in India, in terms of Bollywood, there are not a lot of superhero movies. Krish, I think War One was a superhero. Tiger tried to be a superhero. What was the name of that movie? And there may have been another one, but not many. And when it comes to Hollywood, there are a lot, but I haven't seen a lot. I think the last superhero movie I saw was like Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan. This movie reminded me of the X-Men movies, and I've only seen like the first 3 X-Men movies and Wolverine. So I'm not really a big consumer of superhero movies in terms of America. Here's my biggest problem with the movie and the thing I feared the most when watching the trailer. In the trailer, I said I just needed to make sense, and it failed on that requirement. It failed badly. The story to me doesn't make sense. I had so many questions, and it's not like they were being answered. It just felt like more questions were being added into my collection of questions. And then the other problem I had with this movie was the writing. I felt like the movie was boring. I felt like there were no memorable scenes. I liked the meeting of Alia and Ranbir at the beginning. I thought that was cute. But there are not a lot of memorable lines and quotes from this movie. You can't have a poor plot and weak writing. The writing either should compensate for the story, or the story should compensate for the writing. And neither one of them was helping each other out. Having one of these problems can still lower someone's enjoyment of that film, but you shouldn't have both of these problems. Even the romance, it's supposed to feel like this epic, classic, timeless love, and they couldn't even write lines for that kind of romance, that kind of fantasy. The lines are very generic and uncreative. I felt like I'm more like this couple because I knew them out of the movie than in the movie. And the romance I thought was pretty good. Yeah, they look very comfortable on screen. I just wish they had better dialogue to back up the romance and even a better song to really complement this chemistry that they had on screen. For me, about the first 20 minutes were my favorite part in the movie. The first cameo, he's my favorite actor. I've been talking about how I've been missing him on screen. I go into this movie unexpected. There he is right in front of my face on the big screen. So happy. Then we get into my favorite song of the movie. There have been so many songs in the last couple of years in which I have to warm up to. They're growers. I have to get used to. This song, pretty much from the beginning, I was loving. I was living. And then not only that, it is a proper song and dance number. They actually gave us choreography. It was a huge amount of people on that screen. So many different things were happening. We had props, we had humor, we had colors. It was so beautiful. I love the song. And not only that, it wasn't a snippet version, but it had like 2 proper verses, and then at the end it felt like a party. Every time the chorus came up, my hand was like this. Like, I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it so much that I actually started to cry. I cried during a dance song. This year, to me, there haven't been a lot of videos that have felt grandiose in terms of Bollywood standards. This lived up to it for me. Like, it was spectacular. And then I love the first full shot of Alia's face when she turns around and we're just looking at her face, and I thought she looked beautiful. Now, there were some moments in which I loved. Like, I did love the man running into the truck and the bull. Like, that looked great. And, you know, special effects moments look great as well. But I'm telling you, the first 20 minutes, I actually did think about staying for the next showing just to watch the first 20 minutes, but I had to get to work. And then afterwards, it's me just trying to follow along and kind of confused and reading the dialogue, and nothing's really standing out, and watching some cool action sequences. I was unhappy with this one. Very unhappy with this one, and I'm unhappy that it's also a 3-parter. Are they still going to film the other 2, or have they already been filmed? Please let me know. But I mean, like, I don't need another one. Unless the next movie is going to answer questions for me, I don't need it. Introduction of the children and the superpowers, that reminded me of X-Men. I could do without it. Like, none of those kids to me stood out. Nobody had personality. Their characters didn't have character. They just had superpowers. Hopefully it gets better. We get to know their stories. And then at one point we saw more people, but then at the end, what happened to those people? Who were those people? With Amitabh Bachchan. How does Ranbir get the visions? Did they answer that question? Did I miss it? I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. And this is the part where I'm struggling with, because I think the visual effects are so stunning that I should at least give it a 3 out of 5. Because a 3 out of 5 means like one-time watch, and I would still recommend it. Like, I feel like somebody else needs to see this, or somebody else might like it more than I do. But then for me, I feel like it's a 2. Other than the special effects and Ranbir's performance, what else is there to love about this movie? This movie was a bore to me. It was time passed to me, and I hate that I have to spend more time with this movie because there's 2 other parts. Like, even in the next movie with the character they introduced, I don't even care about the character, the motivations. I just want to know who is going to play that character. I did enjoy the special appearances though. The second guy, as soon as we saw him, I was like, he's a South Indian star. I just don't remember his name. So I had to look him up, because it was going to bother me the entire movie if I didn't find out this man's name. Beautiful disappointment. Stunning in presentation, disappointing in execution. Bye.